It's Karen. Karen White.
Hey, wait, am I a Karen? Oh my God. Hold on. We're broadcasting from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. If you have some unwanted junk around the house or the office or the construction site, they're the people to contact. Again, stormsbrothersjunk.com. I think I'm a Karen. I think I am. And I'm fine with it. In this moment, I think I am. I'm not asking to talk to a supervisor and get somebody like in trouble at a job site or anything. I had to contact the city of Thornton this morning because some dick fuck up our street, I don't know what he did. At first, me and some of the neighbors were like, well, maybe somebody put a bunch of oil in their trash can and they were trying to throw it away on trash day. But doing some detectiving stuff, I think we've come to the conclusion that it was out there beforehand. So either way, there is like gallons and gallons and gallons of motor oil that got spilled in the gutter at the top of the street. And it's sloped. So it all slides down to about, I don't know how many houses that would be, maybe like 10 to 15 houses that have oil, bunch of motor oil right in front of their driveway. So as you drive in to go park in your driveway or your garage, your car tires are getting nasty motor oil all over them, and it's smearing all over your driveway, in your garage. My son didn't realize it the other night. He went for a bike ride, came home, and as he was riding around the house, or not the house, but around the outside of the house, he had rode on our new concrete and got oil stains everywhere. Not his fault. So what I ended up having to do before I called the city in and said, what can we do about this? It's kind of fucked up. I had to go out there. I got a bucket full of Dawn and Dawn soap, mixed it with some water and laid it onto the spots to see if I could do that without getting like some other chemicals to slap on there. And then I was on my hands and knees. Oh my God, just like Cinderella. Cinderella. That was me scrubbing the concrete this morning. And not just like one or two spots. My driveway alone has like 15 fucking spots, big ass spots, plus shit on the sidewalks, scrubbing those. Fucking annoying as shit. I don't know if it even worked because I was like, God damn it. I was going to power wash it, but I was like, but we're in a fucking drought here. So you can't use your water, especially for cleaning off your concrete. And then I went to the store and bought a bag of kitty litter to at least put in front of our driveway to help absorb what was there. Cause it's like pooled, guys. It is not like a little a tinkle. It's a tinkle of oil. It's a good amount and it's getting everywhere. So I had to go Karen. I didn't go to the person's door because I don't want to have any sort of conflict. And to be honest, I don't think that's going to help. It's not going to help clean it. So I sent an email to the city of Thornton. Couldn't find an actual, let's make a complaint. So I just found somebody of high authority. And I was like, hey, I don't know. Can you direct this to the right person? Boom. Right before I hit record, I get a voicemail from a crew that's out there right now, and Keith is out there and with the city of Thornton, and the voicemail, he's like, you could tell he's just like, this is a bigger job than I thought it would be because it's a lot. But then I'm like, am I a Karen? Is that a Karen move? Part of me is like, while you're at it, go ahead and write a citation. Do it. Do it. Come on, man. We have a good neighborhood. And when people do stupid shit like that, that pisses me off. But that being said, there is a possibility that somebody had something bust on their vehicle, didn't realize it, and all their oil got drained from their car. But that being said, There's no cars up there where it starts. So their engine is seized up somewhere if that's the case. Oh, so fucking annoying. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This is my life this morning. I'm going to be all sore tomorrow when I wake up, and I'm going to be like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I so sore? Oh, that's right. I was on my hands and knees scrubbing like a motherfucker. I didn't have a good stand-up brush, so I was literally on my hands and knees with a brush scrubbing concrete. My arm's going to be sore, and it's going to give me something to bitch about. That's what it's going to be. Ah, God, I'm so sore. Why are you so sore, Scott? Well, I don't know if you know, but some dick fuck. Anyway, guys, we got a lot of news coming your way. Don't forget to hit subscribe and interact with the show any way you can. By the way, this is episode 926. I do 4 a week. When will I hit 1,000 episodes? You guys, somebody do the math for me. My brain's not wanting to do that right now. I don't know if you know this, but I was scrubbing concrete earlier this morning. So I was preoccupied. It's got to be sooner than I realized, right? Oh, my God. 926 today. Next week will be 927, if that helps you. That's the extent of my help with the math, okay? Right? Sorry. I mean, I know I'm good at math.
Math.
Today's 926. Mondays will be 927.
You were incredible at math.
Thank you. Anyway, guys, a lot to get into today. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's jump into the headlines.
Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Today's headlines are presented to you by Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. Well, I'm all for having fun at your job. I am. I get it. Jobs can be fucking annoying. And some jobs are more stressful than others. Oddly enough, my son was talking to me about air traffic controllers. That's got to be one of the most stressful jobs on the freaking planet. And then when you get budget cuts and you have less people, it's even more stressful. My buddy a long time ago, his dad was an air traffic controller. Fucking weird dude. And once you figured out what his job was, you're like, yeah, it's fine. I get it. He's got a lot of stress on his plate, so it's fine. I get it. But the reason I bring this up is this audio is trending now, and I'm going to play it for you here in a second. It's hilarious, but it is actually pretty irresponsible. But God damn it, I can't help but think of the comedy in this situation. So there's these pilots having fun while they're landing at Reagan National Airport. And I believe they're on one of the restricted lines where once you're below 10,000 feet and you're close to a tower, it's strictly business. You're not supposed to be doing anything else. Instead, these guys, which, by the way, they're on a really small jetliner. This is what they're doing.
Meow.
You guys, you need to be professional pilots.
Meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ.
Meow.
Did you hear the one where he's all meow meow? RJ, I believe, is a regional jetliner, so it's small. These aren't like the big boy planes. Hold on. This is hilarious.
Meow.
You guys, you need to be professional pilots.
Meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ.
Meow.
That's my favorite part. Meow. So I'm sorry. That's so dumb. That is so dumb, but it's so hilarious. Now, before I get into a Twitter poll that I conducted that's still going on, This is funny, hilarious, but extremely dangerous. In a statement, the FAA said regulations prohibit pilots from engaging in non-essential conversations when they're below 10,000 feet altitude, and that the agency investigates all situations where pilots may have violated these rules. I've been in a helicopter before. I've been in plane small. Well, no, those are bigger planes, but planes where it's all business. You can't be fucking around on that shit. And it's first. There's no time to fuck around because it is so stressful to organize what's going on for the air traffic controllers and stuff like that. Dennis Tahir, pilot and spokesperson for the Allied Pilots Association, the union which represents American Airlines pilots, said he has heard meowing on the guard frequency before. The guard frequency is used infrequently by pilots and controllers because it is reserved for emergencies. It's not entertainment, he says. It's a serious frequency and has a serious purpose. Anything that contaminates that with idle humor or any kind of shtick, the fact that you shticked is, I'm very proud of that he did that, is not received well and should stop. Then, okay, so these guys are under investigation by the FAA. I think it's more than one guy on there, or it's the same dude. Maybe one was the dog, one was the cat. The dog didn't make that much of an appearance, but this is what got me thinking. So my wife sent me this last night, and I'm laughing. I was like, what a bunch of morons, right? And then I sit there and I go to her and my son. I said, imagine if you got fired for that. Would you tell your significant other the truth, or would you lie about why you got fired? My son was just like, I would lie. And my wife said, I think most people would lie. And I told her, I was like, I can't imagine doing that. I can't imagine lying, especially this is very public now. Eventually, if you got fired for this and you happen to be one of those individuals that flew those type of jets, and then all of a sudden you get fired, and this is making a lot of publicity, your significant other is going to put two and two together, most likely. So I said, let's make this a Twitter poll. I said, if you ever got fired from a job, did you tell your significant other the truth about why, or did you lie? And it's a simple, I lied or I told the truth. As of right now, 75% of you said you told the truth, but 25% of you lied, which tells me you're not hireable. You did something bad. Bad. You're the bad boy or a bad girl. It's fine. Whitey said he did both. I know. And what's funny is I'm sitting there going, why would you lie? When I quit the radio station, I immediately told my wife. I wanted to get ahead of it. Like just in case there's some weird shit that comes out and they try to claim whatever, it doesn't matter. But I was just like, yeah, I quit, and this is why. Anytime I've quit, I've immediately been honest about it. But I've never been fired. Clear Channel did, but that was an accident, and then now they voided that, which is now iHeart. So I was thinking about it, and then I remembered I had an intern way back in the day, and he was just terrible at his fucking job. I mean, just god awful. I gave him a simple task. We did a thing on the show, I don't think they do it anymore, where we had 4 stories, and we would just, between Mike Evans and I, mostly Mike, we would come up with 4 stories that were from around the world of sports, not just football related. And we called it the Morning Brew. And we had 4 stories. And to go along with those stories, we would have sound bites to go with them. If we're talking about, the Avalanche big win, maybe get a play-by-play call or a post-game clip and play that real quick or something like that, right? You get the idea. Well, it was a really simple task. I said, why don't you go work on this? And I gave it to him at 5 a.m. I need these by 5:45. We didn't air the segment until 6:30, so I'm giving him plenty of fucking time. And these weren't crazy stories that I was having him reach for. And he knew how to get the audio. He had done it several times before. And I remember asking him, like, at say 5:45, 6 o'clock, I was like, how are you coming along with those? Are you done? Because I'm looking at the folder and nothing's saved. He's like, oh, no, I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it. I'm like, okay. Now keep in mind, I'm running the show. It's just me. He's my intern. I can do that gig. I'm just having him do it because I'm trying to show him how to do things. And then it's 6:25. We're in commercial break. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, dude, where are the fucking sound bites? I didn't get them. I was like, fuck. I was like, do you have anything? No. Like, he's about to piss himself, right? And I'm fucking furious. When you make a mistake in radio, it's live. It's the same thing with TV. You fuck up, thousands, if not potentially millions, depending on the size of your station, could be hearing you fuck up. If I don't have sound bites and Mike Evans is tossing the sound bites, it's going to sound really fucking terrible. So I go and grab these within 5 fucking minutes. I do it. And then, we go through it. We go through the segment. I go and I'm fucking furious at this guy. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you get that done? Oh, I just couldn't. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then come 8 o'clock, somebody comes in and runs the board for me, and I'm still producing and I'm still doing stuff. And then I have a chance to kind of settle down and figure out what was going on. Come to find out, guys, the intern was trying to hook up with a dude on Craigslist instead of doing his fucking job. How do I know this? Because he was under my login, because there was no intern login. I had to supply the login, and he left his email up where he's talking about doing things with somebody. So I had to pull him aside and tell them how bad of an idea that was. When I hired you as an intern, I explained that an internship is a month-long, 2-month-long job interview. And here you are trying to get your rocks off. And then he hung his head in shame, which I have never seen before until that moment. And he's like, should I not have done that, Scott? I'm like, no, you shouldn't have. But long story shortened, I end up finding out that he told people at the school, because the school called me, and they're like, so I guess he felt that your expectations were too extreme. I was like, is that what he told you? Or why he's no longer here? Yeah, he said he quit. I was like, no. I told him he's no longer allowed in this building. And I explained why. So he lied. And I imagine he lied to his wife, if you recall the whole conversation that I just spilled out. So people lie. Was that too long of a story? I'm sorry. I'm still only on the first story. That's just wild to me. Just tell the truth. Just tell the fucking truth. Why'd you get fired? Well,
Meow.
so dumb. So dumb. Speaking of airplanes, LA County, an ice chunk fell from the sky, hammered through a roof, and landed in a living room and just like destroyed a couch. Thankfully, nobody was there and nobody was injured. And they pulled up the flight data, and a plane indeed was flying over the house around that time. That shit's crazy. That is so wild. That's the last thing I want to do, because they're trying to investigate what kind of ice was it. Was it from the shitter or was it from the ice developed on the plane? I don't know. I don't do flight stuff. But either way, that's scary as shit. Now, I'm not going to hide in my, room in my basement, be like my neighbor Scott and just peek out the window and be like, his name's Scott too. And he's all, I see you outside scrubbing your concrete. I was like, are you not going to come outside and say hi? He's all, I don't want to go outside right now. And he just starts laughing, but he's serious. I don't want to be, he's not scared of anything, I don't think, but it's just weird. That's another thing to add to your list of, oh shit, that can happen. Thank God nobody, that would be annoying. It would be worse if you didn't die, I guess, because you'd be all fucked up. You're like, why are you missing a leg? Well, a fucking piece of icy shit hit my arm and blew my arm off. Oh, well, that fucking sucks. Yeah, nothing good. Not like a good story, like I got in a scuffle. Next thing you know, I'm pinned between on a railroad track, end up knocking the guy out, but the train rolled over my arm before I could move it. Something like that. But no, a frozen piece of shit ripped my arm off. Yeah, that's not cool. That's not a good story. Not at all. Hey, guys, we got more coming your way. We do. You guys remember the movie American Pie? Where the Jason, is it Biggs? Bangs the snot out of a pie, apple pie, warm apple pie. That guy. Do you remember Shannon Elizabeth? I believe she plays like a foreign exchange student or something. She takes her shirt off. That's probably. Oh, now you guys remember. Oh yeah. Oh, great actress. Okay, I couldn't tell you anything else she's been in, but she's joining OnlyFans. I know. And she said it's after Hollywood controlled the outcome of her career, and this joining OnlyFans is changing that. And she goes live today. Live right now. Connery, I thought you'd be more excited about this. Scotty, I've already seen those bad boys. Why would I pay for it? I mean, why would I pay for anything like that? Okay, I get that, Connery, I do. But it seems like there's something else that's bothering you. Well, Scotty, thank you for asking. You see, I too have an OnlyFans account. You do, Connery. That's terrifying, but please go on. Yes, but unlike this voluptuous ladies out there, including Shannon Elizabeth, I only have 2 subscribers, Scotty, and that's hard. That's hard. It's okay, Connery. But are you at least interacting with those 2 subscribers? Yes, Scotty, I am. In fact, one is a creepy man from New Jersey. He always is asking me to change my socks in a slow manner. It's really bizarre. Well, what about the other one? Well, Scotty, you see, that one's your mother. I totally got you on that one, Scotty. That's called a long haul comedy joke. Do you have to say comedy joke? I did, and I don't know why, Scotty. Shut up. Listen, another example of if you're a borderline attractive lady, there's a lot of ways you can make income. And let's be honest, you don't even have to be stereotypical media populated, however you want to say it, attractive. You just be a woman and you go on OnlyFans, you can make a healthy living. Healthy. Fellas, unless you're carrying like a baby arm between your legs that's holding an apple, you're probably not going to make a lot of money. Right? If you've ever seen the show The Boys, they had a superhero with this gigantic hog that was like his mutation, and he could like fight people with It's so stupid. So stupid. He was a bad guy. But anyway, unless you're packing some major heat, dudes aren't. I can't imagine making a killing on OnlyFans. So, ladies, what I'm saying is, I can't knock you for that. Especially if you're on OnlyFans, you're in control of it. You are the pimp. Okay, you're the product. You're the manager. You're in control, and I think that's fine. I still judge the crap out of anybody that has an account. I just don't get it. Speaking of things that I don't get, I have a lot of these stories that I was like, you know what? I don't know if I have enough time to get to them all, but you know what? Let's just do some rapid fire through them.
What is happening?
Complete nonsense.
That can't be right. Oh my God.
Oh God. A shoplifter was, wrestling with the security guard at a UK Tesco extra grocery store when all of a sudden a bunch of stolen steaks spilled across the floor, which, by the way, he's just probably like, I didn't steal shit, man. What? No. And then all of a sudden, everywhere. But the funny thing is, this thief is trying to steal dozens of stolen steaks, right? Now, the irony of his situation is that thief will have all the meat he can handle and more now that he's behind bars. Scotty, I get that one. It means that he's going to be fighting off peckers. And I think everybody else got that joke too. I was just, there's somebody out there going, what does that mean? I was just being helpful. Jeez. Disney ticket prices now exceed $200 at peak times. And now there's a bunch of viral videos that are showing families hiding children in strollers, trying to smuggle them into parks to save money. $200 a ticket? The only way that entry fee would be worth it is if they had an adult section, like Ursula's Strip Club, featuring Cruella DeVille on the side stage working it. Evil Queen bartending, and the terrible stepmother from Cinderella managing the back rooms, okay? $200 for a handy, okay? Oh, I already paid up front. Oh, then you're good. Do you got the handy wristband? Yeah, I do. That's insane. $200 a ticket. And they're just, I get it. There's a lot that goes into keeping the park running smooth, whether it's rides, just cleanup, paying employees, food, concessions, all that shit. I get it. But man, that's insane. Westlake, Ohio, police were dispatched for a wellness check after speaking to a woman's daughter who was unable to reach the mother. They became more alarmed when they showed up to the house of the mom that wasn't responding, and nobody answered the door despite the woman's car being in the garage. They made their way into the home. Police found the woman safe, and she was playing video games in her bedroom. She explained she missed the calls because she was way too focused on beating her high score in a bubble game on her phone. She's old. I want to say she's like 91. She's like, I can't be bothered by this shit. I'm going to beat my fucking high score. And she had to. Here's the thing. She says that, but I think it's a mixture of like, oh my God, Carol's calling me again. Fuck. I don't want to deal with her right now. And then she goes back to playing her game, making herself a fucking sandwich, doing shit like that, watching her shows, going back to playing her game. And then she realizes, fuck, I never called Carol back. Whatever. And then she goes. And then come to find out that, her daughter freaked out and called the cops and be like, oh, she's not answering. Maybe she doesn't like you, Carol. Maybe that's the problem too. Okay? Maybe you're too clingy. Let your mom be. God. Just saying. It's it's probably not just the game. We've all been there. I don't feel like talking to somebody, so I'm going to let it go to voicemail. Oops, missed the call. And then if they, you end up getting back, oh, God, I was busy. I had this thing. I was scrubbing concrete. I don't know if you know this, but I was scrubbing concrete. There's somebody spilled grease, oil, motor oil everywhere on the street. I was busy doing that. So totally got sidetracked. We got more we got more coming your way. But real quick, put your junk in our trunk. Storms Bros Junk Removal. If your home, garage, office, yard, construction site, whatever, is looking like a disaster zone and you need somebody help to take all that junk away, no worries. You need to contact Storms Bros Junk Removal right now. They can help relieve the stress by clearing up that mess. Oh, guys, make that a t-shirt. You're welcome. I get it. Things pile up over time. And sometimes you don't realize it until you're in this moment. We're in this time of year where it's spring cleaning. And you're like, oh, crap. I got way too much stuff to get rid of. Then you call up Storms Bros, junk removal, and they're like, okay, yeah, we got you. No worries. And what's cool is they're very fast and very efficient, and they do a good job. Find them on Facebook and follow their page, and then direct message them a picture of your junk. Not what God gave you junk, but the junk that is around your house that you want to get rid of, okay? And they'll give you a free quote right then and there. They're pretty darn quick about it, too. So go ahead, whether it's couches, sofas, futons, mattresses, box springs, appliances, electronics. Maybe you got a bunch of construction materials like drywall, maybe some wood scraps. It doesn't matter. They can take care of all that stuff, and they're going to help you out. Go to stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Again, stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Get that free quote. Or you can give them a call, 303-736-9404, 303-736-9404. That's Storms Bros Junk Removal. Put your junk in our trunk. And let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Well, I get a lot of comments. Well, not too much on Spotify. And Carl responded because one of the episodes we were talking about what should the name of our Little League team be, because the intermediate team, they're like 13-year-old boys. They could not, for the life of them, come up with a new name because we were the Wolf Pack, but we're like, let's go away from the Wolf Pack. Let's whatever. So Carl said, it's funny. I told you the other day, I said, hey, Wolf Pack. And nobody turns around. I said, Waffles, eyes on me. And they all, swear to God, turned around. So that's my unofficial name for them, is the Waffles, which is fucking awesome. And I love waffles, especially with butter and a good syrup. But anyway, Carl said, because this is Coach Carl, he said, the spicy pickle fainting waffle goats Wolf Pack. Because my son said, oh, no, it was one other kid. He's all, what if we were the fainting goats? Like, that's kind of jacked up. The fainting goats, don't they have like a heart condition? And that's why they faint. We're like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Scare him again. Make his heart stop or whatever happens. And then I said angry pickle, but I think people are going towards spicy pickle. I think if it, what I want to do, I'm just going to keep calling them Waffles. And that's going to be their name. Until they can all agree on a new nickname, it's going to be whatever pops out of our mouths as coaches. You're going to be the Waffles, okay? Maybe there'll be spicy pickles tonight. We got a game tonight. We're going to be up in Erie. It's going to be fun. All right, spicy pickles, let's go out there and show what we're made of. We're made of cucumbers, Coach, and vinegar, and some cayenne pepper, and maybe some jalapenos. Somebody's going to say that. Somebody's going to say it, okay? You either play like spicy pickles like you should? Or maybe you go out there and lay down and play like waffles? No. You're better than that. You're spicy pickles. Go out there. Get spicy. I don't know. That's so stupid. Oh. Am I a Karen? I want to go back to that. Am I a Karen? Let me know. You can just say you're a Karen or not a Karen. Part of me thinks I'm a Karen, and I don't know how I feel about that. By the way, if you missed yesterday's mock draft with Connery, go ahead, check it out. I posted it on my Instagram account at DeHuff Podcast, and of course on Facebook and Twitter, again, at DeHuff Podcast. And go ahead, like it, comment on it. And if you like that type of stuff, please let me know. And I'll continue to do more stuff like that with Connery. Yes, please. I am all for it. Okay. Yeah, I know. You're what we call an air hog. We used to have those people at the radio station. And there's always a time and place to pop on when you're not a main host. And there's there'd be times where I didn't want to go on because I just didn't want to be that guy. There was times where I would catch myself and be like, dude, I'm talking way too much. I shouldn't be doing this. It's taken away from the other guys. But then there'd be newer people that come in and they want to do, duplicate what I was doing on the station. And they would just be talking, but they would be trying to go head to head with, say, Mark Schlereth talking about football. And be like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know. And or they it was just terrible. That's where I just, like, when I would pop on, I just tried to be honest. Like I always thought it was funny when Sandy Clough, one of the most intelligent individuals I've ever had a conversation with, and it was very apparent when you spoke with him that he was on a higher intelligence level than I was, definitely. And when he would try to bring me on when I was his producer, when he was the midday show, which we were nominated for Best Midday Show, just lost out to somebody that was boring as fuck. But we had a much more entertaining show because he would pull me on and he'd be like, DeHuff, what do you think about this? That's not his voice, but he'd be like, what do you think of the Broncos doing this, this, and this? I'll be like, I don't know, Sandy. I blacked out halfway through what you just said. And he would just laugh. Like, but the point is, going back to the air hog thing, is I didn't want to do it that much because it was frowned upon by management. There's times where if I did talk too much, I would get reprimanded. And then 2, it's just like, I'm not getting paid for that. I getting paid for that. And 2, people are tuning in for the headline guys. And when you have a show that already has 2 voices, throw in a third voice doesn't work if it's constant. It has to be thrown in there delicately. So I'm not a fan. Sorry, guys. I'm not a fan of 3-person shows. Unless that third person takes a big step back and is only chiming in or is directing the other 2 and tossing and letting those other 2 voices be the dominant, and they're just essentially the director. So I guess that it can work, but you have to have a good maestro in that lead host seat, which is Brett Kane on 92.5 does a good job in the morning, and Mike Evans on The Fan does a good job in the mornings as well. So I guess I'm eating my own words. It can be done, but there's a lot of stations and shows that they choke on it, and they don't do that great of a job. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. That's it for the news from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com. They cover basically all of Colorado. So you got to give them a call, go to their website, whatever, and get that free quote. They'll be pretty darn quick on it, and they're amazing human beings. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's keep it moving forward. Have a great weekend. It's DeHuff Uncensored. I'll talk to you next time.